Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Shady B, back with another video. So this is Mingle Talk episode 9. All right, and we are gonna have a lovely host and guest up here soon. So I'm just waiting for them. You know what I'm saying? I got the little Michael Jackson. I should have had it inside, but I had it like this before. I got the little Michael Jackson vibe going on. You know what I'm saying? And so we just gonna thug it out, see see where our guest is at. 1 second, y'all. All right. Uh, I might have to refresh this. Give me 1 moment. All right, bet. So, if you guys haven't watched Mango Talk before, this is basically a little talk show that we do. Okay, when you're getting to know different artists all around the globe, different creatives, different entrepreneurs, business owners, whatever it is that you got going on. Mango Talk is for everybody. um, that actually has a real mission here on earth that they're trying to like apply themselves and work hard towards, because at some point we were the kids watching the kids who was grown up, who was the teens, who was the adults that we looked up to, and like they made their moves and stuff. So Mango Talk is an opportunity to like give that shine time, unite and inspire those who are also coming up under us and over us and all that, and just connect those dots, because we don't really have the support that we need nowadays. You have to be your own support system. So Mingo Talk, I'm here to, throw those interviews, online events, all that jazz, help you guys with your marketing, also music videos, content, whatever it is. Okay. Um, on the back end, I went to school for film. So, beyond being an artist, I understand all the different aspects it takes to be a professional artist or to be seen a certain way. This is like fifth house energy right here that we talk about when we come back to like the industry and stuff. But there's still a business side to it. But then we forget there's still a spiritual, emotionally connecting side of it, where it's like, okay, before we get to the business, before we get to the industry, before we get to like putting our visions and what's on our hearts out there, you know what I'm saying, what we want to will into existence, we have to first understand we're artists. We sensitive about our shit. We creators. We business owners. There was still a little kid in us, an idea on our mind that put us in the right place at the right time to show us, okay, this is how you need to go about it if you're an artist. Hop on those stages, or if you're a filmmaker, go in those rooms, build those connections, and through Mango Talk, each and every individual that gets to go up here and present who they are can show off also what it is they have to offer, basically, and connect with you guys on a deeper level rather than just scrolling all day online and trying to figure out like who people is from behind the screen. So it's kind of like a moment to just get outside of your box, the way you're thinking about the individual, and you know what I'm saying, the way you're thinking maybe even about yourself, because you may be an artist, you may be a creative, you may be somebody who's, you know, like on the rise, on the come up, got some things that you are passionate about or that you've been working on for some time. And with or without the proper support, you know what I'm saying, around, this may be like a good tool. Mingle Talk, or get to know the artist reels, GTKA, whatever we post, our events can be the thing that kind of like ignites you and gets you back into your rhythm of whatever it is you came here to do. So this is the Cleverton and Mingle Talk, and our guest is on her way. Okay, she on her way. She on her way. I see her. Okay, she says she says she's about to fly in right now. Okay, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this. And yeah, I have some questions here for her. Well, we're gonna wait till she get here to go into it fully. And if you guys also ever would like to be, if you ever want to be interviewed, if you ever want to be on the show, just reach out to me personally. You can actually reach out to me on the CTM page, on my personal page, the Iman Journey. You know what I'm saying? Also at the Jade Iman, okay, B page, any of my pages. I got pages, but yeah, I'm gonna see it, and then we're gonna go from there. Okay. Let me see what she said. Hold on. All right, you gotta have the crystals on lock. You know what I'm saying? And getting the energies ready. You know what I'm saying? I wonder. I guess a question for today will be for me for y'all because we're gonna go into the topic where we're talking about realizing that we were all stars before these boxes, these social media. You know what I'm saying? Labels and all that other stuff. I want to ask a question. I want y'all to think about this until the end of the live or just on your own journey. It's like, what are some things that you do as an artist to like center yourself and keep yourself in that space of artistry of like almost being your own muse or looking to other muses or protecting your work, your content? What are some things that you do? If you want, you can share that in the comments. Okay, that's how I know you're really watching. You can share that in the comments, like things you just be up to, you be doing, you know, how you kind of ride out or flow into your music, into your creation process, into, okay, I'm about to write the script. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't got to be too detailed because I know some of y'all want to keep that to yourself in your back pocket, but some of you guys write it. You might be giving somebody to put in their back pocket. Me, I always got to have a tea. Always got to have me a little tea, y'all. Otherwise, I don't know how I don't know how I'm gonna get through all that. So yeah, I'm still just waiting on our guests. Let me see if they up in here yet. Nah. They said they had a little. They said they had a little situation. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna make sure she get here safely. Put that good energy out. She get that. She come here right on time. I'm trying to think about too, like our last live stream and whatnot. Also, oh yeah, that's actually a good thing. It's cool that she not here. I got PSA messages for y'all and shit. So get to know the artist. If you guys have been seeing me post the reels and whatnot, you can get on there. You just have to send me your 3 videos. Okay, so that's one video of you saying, and all of this you would keep it under 60 seconds to 30 seconds. You know, under a minute, please, because I can't. The reels, y'all know how y'all be with y'all attention span, very little. So try to keep it cute and simple. You know what I'm saying? So under 60 seconds. In the first video, you want to explain who are you, like where you from, type 5, or you know where you kind of started from. Then you want to say in the second point, oh, I see our guest here. Let me just say this real quick before I let you up here. Perfect time. Then the second video you want to send for get to know the artist. What's your cause? What you fighting for? Why you going so hard? Why you doing this thing? You know what I'm saying? And lastly, you want to send one showing off the product, showing off the thing that you do. You know what I'm saying? Send us some type of promo video, music video, whatever. Boom, we're gonna chop that up for you, put it on the page. So that's get to know the artist. This is Mingo Talk. We got Love. Yo, what's up, Love? How you doing?
Hey, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Yo, for real, it's truly an honor to have you up here. You know what I'm saying? Be able to connect with another divine feminine out here in the soul
Appreciate it.
essence
Yes.
universe. Yeah.
Yes.
How you feeling? How you doing? Where you at?
I'm outside, sitting outside. It felt good today. So I'm like, let me get some fresh air and, get out a little bit of that. There's not a lot of windows. I'm from Baltimore. There's not a lot of windows in these houses. It's a little dark inside. So I'm like, let me go outside and get some fresh air. But I'm feeling pretty good.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, man. We got that cancer energy going on right now. A lot of it.
Girl, yes. I'm a Scorpio sun and moon. So like all
Okay.
the water energies I feel, like I be understanding it, but I feel it. Like damn,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
shit is hitting.
I got that Venus and Mars in Cancer, so I just everything just I feel
Yes,
everybody will be like, oh, okay, it's
yeah.
the
That
day.
Mars in Cancer is something different. That right there.
Yeah, that Mars and Cancer hit different. But you already know we're gonna keep this cute. We're gonna keep this light. So, Jabari, I got some questions for you. So just
Yes.
feel free to like hang out and
Okay.
talk shit, and hey, share whatever else you want to share too while I'm doing this, because you never know who's watching, whoever listens to you or not.
Okay.
Oh, and earlier I was asking a question about what do people do. I'm gonna ask you that question too before we get into yours. Shout out to Eli who answered. But before I pull his thing up, I was talking about what are some things you do. Like I brought up my tea.
Mhm.
What are some things that you do as an artist, as a creative, to like get into your zone? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a great question because that's something that's not talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, with artists, and I was actually just having this conversation with another artist, and we were kind of swapping ideas about like what that individual did and what I do, and like how to intertwine them and things. And so, but just personally for me, I think for me like when I get in a mood, like I got a spark, like, okay, I got some creative energy right now. It's not all 3D right now. I can hop into some creative stuff. I like to like, of course, roll me up a little something. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's my little like, okay, let me get back how I get grounded basically. I like to kind of like if it's the daytime, I like to kind of like definitely shower and feel
Right.
clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, put on something nice that makes me feel like sexy or cute. Like put on some perfume. Like I want to feel good. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that helps me kind of channel out like blockages. Like especially taking a shower. Clear my head because like some people like to like I write a lot, so all my music I write. So I think
Yeah.
some people work really well with like writing while they're in a current problem and like
Yeah.
venting it all out. I'm not good at that. Like I need to kind of like
What? I would never thought. Like I'm the same. I write all my own shit, but I could do that shit anytime. Like it just be, it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So it's hard. It's hard. I think it's the water. It's the heavy water placements. Like the sun,
Okay.
the my sun, moon, and Venus are all in Scorpio. So I feel like emotionally I can get overwhelmed. So like if I'm not having like a good day or I'm feeling down and stuff, I really try to like redirect my energy because it's like I won't get any good lyrics. Like to me I'll write things that are I don't like it's okay to be low at times and show your transformation, but
Right.
like my music, I really want people to feel better. I want them to feel
Right.
good. And I feel like if I'm in a shit mood as a water sign, like it'll come across, and I feel like my lyrics aren't as good. It starts to be like, as a Scorpio, it's like that deep dive to have to figure out, well, why am I upset? Some people kind of like they don't dive deep a little bit. They just like, well, I'm gonna just say that for another day, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
transmute and get to this. It's like I can't even move forward if I don't even
Without.
understand why I'm
Yeah.
feeling like this,
Yeah.
right? So it's hard for me to right now be listening to music and I'll be upset. Like I'll embody a feeling. And for real, I'm like, man, I can't write this. I can't
Yeah. I
produce like
can.
this.
Yeah.
Like, so I kind of, but I like people that like, when they're going through something, it translates on
Mm-hmm.
in their music and they can transmute it instantly. Like it takes me a little minute, like,
Right.
so
But you didn't found your own groove though. That's what's important. Like you like okay,
yeah.
this is my way. Get cute. Like you setting up the mood for your experience that you want to have. So
Exactly, because
yeah.
yeah, and that's exactly what you said. Just made me think about something. Because like, if I'm doing music not for like just a check or just some fame or some popularity, it's
Mm,
like I want to create an environment and an experience that I actually enjoy doing this. It's not something I run to. It's not something I run to just because I'm feeling down. And it's okay if you do that because, hey, Nadia, that's Nadia. What's up? What's up?
what's up?
And it's okay if you
What's up,
do
yo?
that because I feel like everybody has their different ways and stuff, but yeah, like I want to make sure like every time I'm entering like my music, my creative space, like this is like, oh, this is something that I chose that to do. It's something I love to do. It makes me feel good, and I like that's some of the reason why sometimes like I stop dabbling in tarot so much because I'm like every time I'm going through a bad situation, I shouldn't just be like, oh, my tarot cards. Let me, because it's like that's not.
Yeah. I that,
Yeah,
sorry to cut you off.
no, you're
That's
fine.
that's why I'd be very. That's why I was like, y'all answer the question. Leave a comment because this can apply to anything. Like I don't even like
Yes.
tarot in a bad place because I see that most people in tarot land, that's what they do it from. It's just,
Exactly.
it's always like the dark sad. It's like, man, I'm trying to get to the money. Like, I'm trying to get to these dreams.
Exactly.
You
I'm
know?
manifesting. Exactly.
Yeah, and fuck the money, but the things that I'm trying to get to, the tools and the experience and the people and the places that's gonna help why I'm here in Tarot Land and why I'm using these
Exactly.
cards, or
And
if
why I'm on this mission and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like,
if I'm gonna even do that or use the card, then let me go deep. That's why I do inner child readings. Let me just figure out what it is, and then we can get off that. Actually,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
I think what you said is dope though. Like, you never know who might need to put that in their back pocket. Go take a cute shower, girl. Go roll that little.
Check your
Check yourself.
energy.
Before you wreck yourself.
Exactly. Because you might get better. You might get better lyrics. You might get a little better vibe off the song you was looking for, or just a different one. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah, that was dope. Who's Eli? 360 in the building. He said, for me, I try to keep my creativity on a schedule or task. It helps me develop discipline with my creative energies and have something to look forward to.
I agree with that.
That's dope. Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to keep your creative energies on a schedule because
I was about to say that too.
It gets hard because it's like when you get that spark, you never can tell, like, okay, I need to do this now. But what he said about the scheduling, about that being a routine of yours, like if I say, I don't care if it makes me uncomfortable, even if I'm not in the mood, every day at 2:00 I'm gonna decide to at least listen to a beat, write one thing down, come up with a concept. It'll start to become your reality. Like you'll be more creative more times, or around those times you need to be, especially if like it's life, like you got work, you got relationships, or you got children, or you got, just the outside world. It's hard. You kind of got to put a schedule on it, or it'll get kind of washed. It's easy to get washed up. So
facts. I definitely will agree. I would show y'all, but I got like a whole wall of just, you don't. For me, I got like a Leo Virgo North Node. So it's like, if I'm not on schedule, shit's just fucked up. Like, it's just not even.
It's not flowing right.
It's not gonna flow. So I had to realize, like, my timing versus other people timing, and it's crazy. Kind of actually gets into the first question. My timing versus the world's timing is like different. So I may be like, I think what Eli is dope, because for me, I kind of do it like, all right, I'll have set days, like, all right, I'm going to just make sure this happens every week. You know what I'm saying? It don't gotta be like at a time, because sometimes the energy just don't be. It's like what you said, or my mood, it's just not there. Like, I can't even force it.
Yeah.
So, but that's why I do Mango Talk kind of more intuitively, and I always tell everybody I don't really plan it out too much. The questions come like kind of days before, the topics come day before, because whatever spirit got to say, I let spirit,
Yeah, and I like that. It's more natural and it's more organic, and I think that it doesn't create, like you said, like when you hit me up, I was like, it's no pressure. You know what I mean? You don't gotta have like all these answers already scripted out. I'm reading from a script and shit. Like, oh shit, she gonna ask me this. Like, it can just flow. So I like it. I like everything you're doing.
Thank you. I like everything you doing, Jabari, for real. That's why I had to reach. I was like, whoa, man, like, your music is just so dope. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Like,
I appreciate that.
For real, like, I want to add on to, like you were saying, like, I want to make music that make people feel good. Sometimes it is about transformations, but sometimes it's like other things we be going through that we can just hear somebody else, but then we know, like, oh shit, I'm not alone. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
exactly. And with that is and I appreciate that. Thank you. And it's so funny because, like, I'll say, like, I want to write music that kind of like gives a person a little up vibe. Like, they can dance, they can not nod their head too, they can, like, dance too, maybe twerk a little bit too. Like, I like making music like that. But when I'm alone, I listen to a lot of like Brent Faiyaz and Drake, or like SZA, or like people that don't even, they sometimes give them vibes, but I don't even choose to listen to music like that. So I find that so funny. Like, so sometimes I realize, like, dang, I like to kind of sometimes sit in all music gives you certain vibes, but ones that actually give you a second to actually, sometimes you can't just rush and be happy. Sometimes you gotta be sad for a little bit. Sometimes you gotta, sit in the bathtub, shed a little tear, listen to something sad. But so I be trying to like find balance, and I realize, like, the reason why I'll jump to like the upbeat music is because I'm like, it's it's like, okay, I'm a Scorpio. Now it's like, if I get into this, I'm revealing myself. Like,
Yeah, like that should
I gotta be transparent. So
right. I
it's
think
harder.
I think as an artist, that be what it is for me. Like I'm like I gotta have my tea or something, you know, before I just come out here all naked and shit. Like
Exactly.
that's how you feel. Like I put the song, I put my hand to the paper, you know, the pen to the pad, and like I'm telling you everything, or even tarot, this type of shit. Like as an artist, I think we don't always look at that. Like this is our shit, and we get to protect it and show up how we feel. That's gonna make us most comfortable. Because then that's how like they always say, or I say, you know, if you feel it, then everybody feel it, and that's all that matters. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. So the first question I got is, as a woman on Earth, you know what I'm saying? Has there been a moment that you could describe where it's like you almost gave up on yourself from like fully blossoming? And it's kind of crazy we're talking about what we just said. So go into it. Let me know. Let us know.
Man, that's a deep one. It's so funny because I feel like until I kind of found like I don't like using the word like, oh, like I'm spiritual, because you know, like it's so much stigma around it, that term now, that's kind of added on. But for me to actually be like just aware of myself and like having value in myself or seeing myself in a better situation, honestly, I don't think growing up I ever tried. You know what I mean? I don't think I ever had a lot of confidence to where I saw myself in certain positions. Like I would think like that's just the movies, or that's just for them people, or you know, not saying white people, but sometimes white people get glorified in movies. So I'll think like that's only for a certain race, or
right.
That's not for me. And so, and then I had to realize like I've always counted myself out. I've never, you know what I mean, until I really found but I also was so spiritually intact as a child, but didn't know it, that a lot of things I'm realizing now, it didn't have enough meaning to it. I wasn't drawn to it enough. It just was like, which I know, like, it's just because I'm an old soul. Like, that shit is, like, it's old news. Give me something new to do. Like, I've done that already in the past life, probably. Like, it doesn't intrigue me. Like, I just wasn't intrigued.
That's
like, I didn't.
Right there.
Yeah.
But then the spiritual attack, I'm sorry to cut you out. It's
no, you're fine.
Slowing down that, like, going into so much. Like, even the spiritual attack thing, like, I went through that on top of not having, like, high self-esteem. Like, I'm just getting to a place where I'm like, all right, y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I'm popping out. I'm ready to be seen, and I love myself. Like,
but the crazy part, a lot of people don't realize that, like, if you don't have the environment to support it, and then you still trying to develop as an artist, you like a little flower, and you got to have that environment. You might blame yourself, like, why I ain't pop off or go off to this at this age, or da. But it's like you speaking on it right now. Yeah,
and and I feel like, you know, when you, like you said, when you're going through it, when you're going through it, you don't realize, like, this isn't correct. No one, not in the environment that tells you, like, no, girl, like, and even if because I had, you know, my mom's a Sag, so like she, you know, she gonna tell me, like, you know, you could go do whatever you want to do in life. I may have heard that, but it's different when you don't have it inside. Like, you, no matter what nobody says, you gotta feel it inside. And I think that, like, because now I see a place for myself in the artist industry, because I always thought, like, it got to be one way, it got to look this way. And once I, you know, shout out to Dolo, of course, and shout out to other artists like yourself, and you know, in the soul group and shit, to where, like, man, we make music on whole different levels. And I don't think that I was introduced to realize, once I realized, oh, like, I don't gotta talk about what everybody else talk about. I don't gotta look like something that I'm not. You know what I mean? Just to be a part of this, whatever, you know, cloud, this world. And once I realized that, like, oh no, this is about being an individual. Being an artist is about being an individual, and that's what people like. You don't get taught them things. Like, you don't get taught. You don't know. Like, be yourself. That's what actually makes you be liked. That's what actually makes you shine.
Yeah.
So
that's dope. So yeah, basically, it seemed like you just kept going and you just blossomed. You know what I'm saying? You was like, yeah. And I kind of went through that too. And I think some artists, they even can go through like a certain side where it's like, you know, some people who have like mental illness, certain shit like that shit.
Yes.
Too, where, like, even if you just like on the lighter side, like depressed or got anxiety or have some trauma.
Yes.
yeah, for me, my music and work actually helped me not kind of fall into, you know what I'm saying, some type of like mental illness or issue. Like it was the
Me
way I
too.
got through shit. So
Yes, and that's what I'm finding now. Like, if I wasn't, like it gives you a little bit more of a purpose. Everybody got to find their own individual purpose. But like, if I wasn't doing music or I didn't have this purpose right now, I don't like the shit that I was involved in the past before I really knew myself. I was in all types of situations and
thank
around weird people, and
people, yeah,
you
doing
already
shit I had
know.
no business doing. Like what the fuck?
Exactly. Just no, and not really seeing a value in yourself. I'm not saying that you didn't like yourself, but when
Wasn't
you
showing up like
you wasn't showing up for yourself. You was
right, right,
not, yeah,
or like protecting yourself. And then it's like, how can you when your environment already kind of like beating you down, trying to
exactly.
that blossoming. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. Ooh, so we just went somewhere. We went deep.
We went deep. I know
We
you
went
a
deep.
Scorpio.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I got my moon in the 8th, in the 9th house. So this is like my world, like that in between. But it just
Yeah.
be annoying. It's like it's Libra though, so it's like people don't know that I have that side to me where it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's super deep. But
People don't know that Libras are deep. Well, Libras are deep. Like I got my son is cuspy, so I'm
mm-hmm,
0 degrees Scorpio. So I'm on that Libra Scorpio cusp. But I had to realize that like Libras actually, once you get to talking to them, they got some insights. Like they be observant, and I realized that because like on the
yeah,
astrology video when I think Dolo broke down like each sign is made up of the sign that comes before and after them. So like a Scorpio is like a Libra and a Sag put together. Like
yeah. The
so and
Virgo and Libra and Scorpio, yeah, man.
exactly. So I was like, yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense. It makes sense.
I think that's why as my Leo son likes Scorpio. I always grew up around Scorpio energy, Pisces, all the water
Mhm.
Cancer, but I get along with everyone. It's like weird, but
Mhm.
Scorpios just always help me realize like, nah, Jay, what you thinking and how you feeling is not crazy because sometimes that feeling can be denied because it's in your heart.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And as an artist, there is an aspect of you kind of showing what's going on in the dark, what's going on like with you, and
Exactly.
yeah, we do that.
Bringing it all to the forefront, and then
Yeah,
like the Leo shit actually
yeah,
presenting it. Like
yeah, yeah.
I got a Leo rising, so
Okay, though that's crazy. Like
yeah.
outside, it's kind of like you already showing us,
Oh, that
for real. It's like
it comes.
layers. You can see you, but you
Mhm.
you let in who you let in, and it's almost like I hope I'm not cutting you off. I just
Oh,
feeling like
you fine. You good.
my it's like we see you, but it's like we gotta feel you, we gotta hear you to like really see you and see
Mhm.
where you like how you coming, like what you trying to show us. You know what I'm
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
saying?
And I had to realize that, not realizing like, oh, like I got this. That's like a square type of thing between the Leo and Scorpio. Like knowing what to present, when to be seen, when
Yeah,
to set the
yeah,
stage, and being like, the Scorpio can kind of, I feel like, overpower. The Sun and Moon kind of overpower your rising sometimes because
yeah.
it's hard. So
They
it's
like
like
they
some.
attack team tech.
Yeah, it's a tag team. And mine being the same. It's like my little Leo be like, no, girl, get out there. Talk. Express yourself. Scorpio
Hmm.
be like, nah, I'm trying
Oh
to stay
man,
in the shadows. Like, and I have to
no,
get out of my comfort zone a lot.
that's me with my Aquarius rising, and then I always be awkward. So then it's like now I gotta open up more, and then it's
Hmm.
like what open up, like the fuck,
Right. Like,
who,
yeah.
what, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Aquarius and Scorpio got that in common. I feel like we could be like very like closed off a little bit, but when we're in the environment, it doesn't seem like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But personally, like, nah, I don't really fuck with too many
I
people.
I
Or,
had to realize that like
mhm.
we would think that we like out here, but we really be like super reserved, like
Yeah,
other shit.
exactly. But a lot of times for me, it's like it's because of my past too. I be trying to like
Same, yeah,
redirect. Like I was, and I feel like anybody got to a certain point to say like, I'm on my journey. I'm here. Got some shit from their past. Like, you know what I mean? Some crazy. And I'm a Scorpio, so like I definitely had some dark experiences
that
and
kind of
things like that.
flows into my next question.
Okay.
So you hit it on the nail, y'all. Like that's just crazy. That's what I was saying before. Like yesterday, the other day, I was like, "Yo, Jabari is dope as fuck." Like
Well, I
when you
appreciate that.
no, seriously. Like when you tap into your artistry, like your moon, your sun, who you really are, it's just
Hmm.
a natural flow. So also, any artists out there, like, you feel like you having any writer's blockage or you a creative entrepreneur. Like, just, you gotta, like she said it, just be yourself, and it's like, it's just gonna flow out of you, like, whatever to be presented. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And also realizing like we be our own worst critics sometimes. Like
Yeah.
you could write some shit and you might not like it. You could generally be like, I don't really like how this came together. I don't really like the sound. But best believe you put it out,
Yep.
somebody's gonna like it.
That might be the exact vibe that they need to hear from you, or that business. You might think like, oh, I'm not all together, but just you doing it, put somebody else's mind together and be like, oh shit, da, 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 da,
Exactly.
or some support coming. You never know, like, how the universe will come through.
Yeah, come through
Yeah.
for you when you being yourself. You feel me?
Real shit. So the next question is, what would you say right now to your younger self?
Oh man, wow.
The childhood, you know what I'm saying?
You know what? When you asked me that question, I'm like, I might gotta do one of your classes because that you asked me that made me realize I don't think I've ever asked myself
The inner child class, the online class, y'all, is $10
yeah
this Friday from 2 to 5.
yeah I'm a
Yeah.
yeah I'm gonna tap in with that.
Real shit.
Because I just realized that you brought up a question that I
I-
ain't never even thought about before. I'm
well,
like,
let's hear. This is the opportunity. Like, think
um,
about, yeah, you looking back 10, 20 years ago. Like, who
wow,
tell them?
this might get a little deep. I'm not trying to get
No, it's
emotional.
okay. You
So
gonna let people get emotional. Let them cry it out. You know.
let let that little girl cry that out. Like,
Oh.
for me, I think. Hold on, let me fix my headphones real quick. Sorry. Right. So for me, I think would have to be to that little girl. Like one, love yourself, love yourself, and believe in yourself. Those are the two things. Like love yourself, believe in yourself, and have confidence in yourself. I think those are the three things that I would tell myself, especially the love yourself, value yourself, really value yourself. Not that when I got into that self love, not that fake, that real. Like I put myself first. I value myself. I love everything about me. I look in the mirror. I don't give a fuck if I don't like this little roll. Or I don't like that little mark. I'm gonna say that shit look good.
Whatever.
Or
Like,
accept yourself and like don't be afraid to be wrong or to be so like at a problem like feeling like people maybe thought like you're stupid because a lot of times when you get spiritual it's like
yeah.
you're not intrigued with what the material world looks at as what is smart or what is right or it's like and so for me
or what's fire, like you got your own sauce. Yeah.
Exactly. And just like love yourself. Open up. It's okay to be seen. It's okay for people to see you. Like, because it's like, you got to have more confidence in yourself. And like you said, your environment sometimes dictate little things, but that's the biggest thing, man. Now I'd be like, it's not nothing, nobody, because when you like that, your mind be a little weak, and people could come in and tell you anything about yourself.
Yeah,
now
like kind of redirect your whole shit, and that's what I went through growing up, especially CTM, and that's a big goal of mine to help people not go through. Even though I don't know where the title coming from, maybe this is kind of some of it. It's like I've been thinking about it lately because people keep asking. It's like I went through that. Like people continuously not knowing. That's probably my Libra. Like just being so nice, so helpful. That North Node. Like I help I could kind of go into anybody's life because I do this in my own life. But before it was just I would just do this with other people, like kind of look at them like a project or.
And did people ever look at you
but they would
like
take off my shit?
And would they be kind of look at you like you're naive or you're green a little bit? But in reality, you're like, nigga, I'm doing this because I want to do it.
I wanted to, like, I'm helping because I out of my heart. Like, it's not so it made me eventually realize like, oh shit, like to my younger self, like just focus on you because then it's gonna help you know who to focus on, who to help, how to help. Period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my being a Scorpio, being into like the eighth house shit. Growing up, I kind of dealt with men. I think I experienced that the most from my partners, being able to kind of tell me who I am. You know what I mean? You should be like this. You should be like that. And it's like, nah, nigga, I should be myself.
You should be yourself. I went through the criticizing, like I like being able to help a person, and then to a certain point where they have to help themselves, but then it's like this focus on like now that thin line between it's like constructive criticism and days we're mad or things we're going through kind of all over the place, and
Right.
then it's like, oh well, I'm just gonna nitpick and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was me or it was them, like, oh, wanting to be too perfect or wanting to think like this relationship is a job or we gotta do this or that. And it's like,
Yes.
just be yourself. You know, like we'll get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
yeah.
and that's very important to know. I think a lot of people don't like not even just romantic relationships, just I'm sorry, the car alarm, but just relationships.
No,
Period.
that's like a mess. Like that's a mess.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, the sirens
Little
on the reach.
omen.
That shit was like, that shit was like confirmation.
Like you're not perfect. Like your partner's gonna be up one day and going through it. The next day you might be that's where we like, hey, hold me now.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, like just get
Yeah.
like and hold it down for a little bit, because I think that people, when you're dealing with people, it's easy to get shook up by like what somebody else may be going through or that may be different from you. But sometimes it's like you gotta let people go through their shit and not add conflict to their shit, not add like that's like coming from a pure place. And that's hard when like you got expectations. You know how relationships go. You got expectations, or you feel like you should feel like this at this moment. But it's like, nigga, this is this person is going through something. You may be going through something. They're gonna allow them to have that time, and then come back to it.
Exactly. I had to realize that for me, because I would, going back to being an artist, a lot of your artists, y'all might feel this, or creatives, like sometimes you really be in a state where it's, even though you are artist, you got to do business, you got to handle shit. It's not about my feelings right now, but you know, and then it's the opposite. Sometimes people be very businessy, but your season is to be in your feelings, and people might not realize that. So I think
exactly,
it's like the relationship you have with music, the relationship you have with your work. You kind of look at that like with your partnerships or moving forward with anybody.
Yeah,
like we gotta respect where people be coming from and shit.
And that's very true. I never looked at that like that, but I actually like how you just put that. Like
I like what you said about the genuine, pure, like seeing where people at and shit and at.
Yeah. And I think it's hard if you're not, it's because it's levels to that spiritual shit. So I feel like if you're super attached and ain't really practiced detachment a lot, or you got codependency type of things, it's like it'll be hard for you to not take that person's journey personal.
Right. And I'm so happy you said that, because that's what I think it was like reeling back to. It's this level of personalizing your experience, where it's like I'm showing my experience through my music, through my work. I'm showing my whole shit. I'm being completely transparent. Don't take that, but don't take that in. It's like we're learning and that goes back to the topic. You know what I'm saying? Just to focus it back for those who probably kind of tuning in, chiming in right now. We got more questions still.
Hey, yo.
We are all stars. Like before we got put on these little whatever the fuck labels, boxes and shit. Like we was just us. So we have to kind of respect, like we can't be using each other's daily issues and insecurities or whatever the fuck against each other. Like that's that's not really like what our music, what our work is for. We have to always that beginning reasoning why we was doing this in the first place.
And the first reason usually is pure. You know what I mean? Like that. It's not ego in it. It's not I got all these expectations. It's not none of that. It's like, nigga, I'm experiencing without no expectations actually.
Yeah. I'm just here, and this is like that music, that product. That's just that's now I could put that out there in the world, and I think that's a good side note before we get into the next question too. Is like as an artist, that's the kind of space I like to create. Like if I make my tea, like you said, take a shower, roll up. I like to create, then present it. I don't like when I actually had music equipment. I had everything you could possibly think of to make like your own come up. I had it when I was about 15, 17, somewhere in between that, when I was going through my childhood girl shit.
Yes.
Thought I was grown, right? I was hurt. So
Me
hurt.
Too. Me too, girl.
I remember my Cancer Moon Leo Sun stepfather. He was Puerto Rican at the time. He'd been in my life for like 14 years, but he's no longer is because of they got divorced, my mom and them. And he made a huge influence on my impact in my life and influenced me, and in a positive way, where regardless, like we're not perfect, but he got me all that equipment. And I remember I took it back. I told him to take it back though, because I did feel pressured as if I had to be some childhood star. I had to be like where everybody wanted me to be. And I
Right.
remember telling him to take it back. Like I played with it for like a week or two, and I was like, "Fuck that shit!" Like I don't care because it got to feel like it's coming from me though. Like
Right.
I remember I had a guitar and a couple other things. I had a guitar and a sewing machine. That shit got thrown away when we was all moving, and I connected more with that than the music at first. Or how it just
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy I followed my own path because some people feel like they have to follow what their parents or anybody around them their influence, and
Yeah.
that's
Mm-hmm.
not your journey. Like respect your journey.
Yes,
Yeah,
and you're absolutely right about that because I always had anxiety around like it fucks with your self esteem a little bit because the people that are doing that they may have the best of intention like I
yeah,
just want to I'm trying to help you but it's like people
and you
don't
don't.
realize that.
Yeah,
No, go ahead, you're saying.
and then and it's like I always felt bad like at first like damn, and even now and then I used to think like damn, do I regret that and then I realized like nah, like I remember years or months later I would cry to my mom and be like, Mom, I love music, I'm gonna change the world, da, 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 da. Like I was like I remember these moments where I
Right.
that's what showed me how much I loved it, but I wouldn't have learned that lesson. I wouldn't have got to that point to be like
It's
how bad I wanted.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If it wasn't, if I
it's a
had not got there,
transformation.
like I'm gonna get the equipment, I'm gonna get the microphone. Like,
Because that's how sometimes, and that's what people gotta respect people because everybody's different and some people value things a lot more when they put the work in to do it. It's not an expectation. I don't feel like I'm doing this for somebody. They got me this equipment, so now I'm living for them. I'm doing music, and you're in the back of my mind like, damn, I got to hurry up and do this so that you can,
I
you know
gotta
what I
live up
mean?
to this. Nah.
Expectation kind
Yeah,
of, and
yeah.
that's
Fuck that
and
shit.
that's where like people could see a lot of things for you and be like, well, I see you doing this and I see you doing that, but it's like, nigga, this is my journey and this is divine timing. Like,
And you're gonna get there. That's the crazy
mhm.
part. Yeah.
And that's why it's good. Like, I always let people know, like, you, just be here to support me. Like,
Right.
you don't need to save me. You don't need, you know what I mean? Just be here
Yeah.
to support me. And if I need something, I can come and be like, yo, could you help me out with this? Or, I understand that dynamic with that being like almost like your stepdad though, because he probably in his mind thinking like, this is, but not even realizing like, we all on our own journey. So,
Hey, mine. What's up,
hey,
mine? Rich
peace,
swag lord.
swaggy lord.
Swag lord. So, um, now I feel like what you just said is really like spot on. Like sometimes we kind of live in other people's constraints of like how their ability to be like, yo, this is what I feel capable of. This is what I don't think I can do and handle or take. And it's like you gonna circle back to all that shit and do all that shit that they're probably trying to put you onto. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes as an artist, you kind of gotta like take it and be like like fuck off, like let me live my shit, like let me
Yeah,
do my
and
shit.
and a lot of times it's like I had, like you said, I had to do this like that because this was my
Yeah,
journey. I had to go through so I can now have a story to tell. This is my triumph story. This is my, how I got through things,
yeah.
and so we all gotta go through it, man. Like you gotta go literally through it, like
Through it. You can't go around. You can't go
at
up. You
all.
gotta go through it. And then, woo. Okay, let's get into the next question.
Good.
It's you fire, yo. You fired for real,
You
for real.
want to?
Not, yeah,
We in sync. We
yeah.
there.
Not to gas it up. We just there. Yeah, yeah. So you said, okay, yeah. It says, what is something you used to share? Oh, you used to shame growing up, like in yourself about yourself or be insecure about that is now one of your greatest assets.
Hmm.
Your greatest assets.
Huh. I used to kind of be very evasive with myself. I don't think I dug as deep within myself as I do now, but I realized that I kind of used to see things in other people I didn't like and be like, oh, I don't like people like that when I was younger. I don't like people that's like that. And I realized what I didn't like is what I embody now all the
Right, right,
time.
right.
So I would, because I'm from the hood and things like that. So I used to
Same.
always get turned
I
off
got that
by
Connecticut, New York shit in me, but
yeah.
I'm from East Atlanta. Like,
Oh yeah. So you already know you got the South experience and the East Coast experience.
up north.
Yeah. Yep, up north. So it's definitely, I feel like your experience is a little bit different when you're in a more of like an urban area and poverty a little bit, but like people,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of girls would I would be like, I don't like girls that are loud. I don't like girls that are
Ooh,
attention seeking. I don't like girls that are always in somebody's face. I don't like, and
yeah.
I still kind of don't like certain things. But I realized that back into the thing about it's okay to be seen. It's okay to have confidence in yourself. It's okay to be like I'm the baddest bitch in the room. It
On your like I be saying like I'm the baddest bitch on my street and on her street, and we connect all our blocks. You know what I'm
ex-
saying? Like
exactly,
we bad.
exactly. And I
Yeah.
looked at that like kind of like ew, like that person that want attention and stuff like that. And yeah, shout out to New York. You feel
You know
me? Shout out to
what I'm
shout out to
saying?
NY.
Stand up. Where y'all
Shout
at?
shout out to Atlanta too, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we gonna make them connections. But keep going.
Yeah, so and then I realized that now that's something that like I pushed myself to kind of be more like that's a skill that I saw. Like, oh, sometimes you don't like stuff in people, but that be kind of like it we always gotta check ourselves. That's like some secret hater shit. You know what I mean?
That
Like
is.
it is.
But then sometimes you have to go into those spaces to be this artist. Sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
gotta hate yourself, you gotta be jealous of yourself, and others like you gotta experience that feeling of being like, damn, this motherfucker really on this shit right now.
Right.
And like, what the fuck am I doing? Like this
Exactly.
person,
Like why am I afraid to kind of be like that?
right? Like why am I even hating? Like what the fuck kind of questions is they talking to themselves in the mirror about? Who is they got
Exactly.
around them? Like that's where we going back to the blossoming question. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not always you. Like you might have people talking crazy, you snakes. You trying to grow, you trying to become this artist. You might be in the wrong environment, soil. You might
Right.
you might got the proper seed, or you might
Right.
think like you got the right idea, the right starting point for how you gonna go about your shit.
Hello.
You gotta trust your own path. So I feel like you doing your
Exactly.
thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you trust your own path, and you kind of working with your environment, and then that's gonna show you like the time and places to pop out and be like, hey,
Exactly.
pop
And
out,
and yeah, pop out, pull up,
hey.
the crazy thing about that is now it's like I more so dislike uh women who are a little bit more self-conscious. It's okay to be self-conscious. We all got insecurities, but women who are a little bit more kind of like in that energy. I actually like a woman now that's more like, oh yeah, she knows she a bad bitch. I'm trying to link up with her. She's secure with herself. You know what I mean?
Secure, that's a difference than she beating motherfuckers up because she want to be loud and da 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 da. You know what I'm saying?
It's a difference, and it was hard to tell from the hood because some people aren't really confident.
They just loud. They
They
just
just loud.
braggadocious. And
Yeah.
I went through that. I'm actually happy that traveling up back and forth growing up because of watching so many traumatic experiences. It's like my family kept sending me to different people's houses to kind of stay
Hmm.
away from it. But I still my ass intuitive as fuck at that age. I'm calling everything out. They like just send Jade away because we don't need her knowing.
Yeah, she peeping too much.
Few people too much. So that was good for my protection because that showed me like who was who and how people was coming to me. Like even at that age, being a young star and not even knowing it. Like
Not even knowing it, girl.
I was performing at my middle school and shit and like doing big. But at that time, I'm looking at like this is my school, but I didn't realize like that's damn near a festival that you did at
Hmm.
like 8, 9 years old. So
Oh
imagine
yeah.
the things you already done that seem like nothing, but on the level of at 24, 25, 35, 10, like 100 years
Yes.
old. That could be a whole conference.
That's yeah. It's like a lifetime. It's like nigga, you've been doing this. You've
That's
been you've been in this energy, and yeah, that's something that I had to realize. Like when I first started doing music, I was like, damn. Like a lot of people would be like, I never knew you was doing music. Cause I just popped out with it. They're like, I never knew this about you, and then I realized that like, oh
you
yeah,
got
it's like I got it. I never really even embodied it, but it's like it's been here, and I realized like as a kid, like I always had music playing. I'm
right.
somewhere where everybody's talking. Jabari got her headphones in. I'm
Yep.
somewhere in a whole nother world bumping. I'm taking my little. I didn't have the iPad. I had the Zune. I'm on a bus. I got my headphones in at lunch. Like I'm in the headphones.
You already was in artist development. You was getting your sound together. Like that
Get.
shit be crazy when you think
Mm-hmm.
about like this how bad you really wanted that shit. That now when you start to make music at different ages, it's like we were watching this beautiful person turn into who they was always like
and
meant
and and,
to
it,
be,
and
that was meant for
and
you.
it's crazy how sometimes other people may see it sometimes and you might not see it because a lot of people be like, dang, I was waiting for you to use your voice. I always knew that you had it's something was about you. I've been waiting for you to pop
I've
out.
been
And
waiting.
I
I've been seeing you could
I,
do X, Y,
I
Z.
think
Like so you always
exactly.
get back to like we said before, like if people suggest things on your path journey, like still just do what you feel like God or whatever told you is the next step. And it's still gonna connect you back to like whatever people see in you, but it gotta be done right. Like you can't allow the world to kind of use you while you in your process. It's like
Right.
for you to use. That's your energy,
Yeah, it's like, nigga,
your
I'm on my
music, your
journey.
time.
Like,
Yeah.
right. Like you can't force this. You can't come in and fix it. It gotta be. And I realize that now,
Right.
like everything I always used to be like kind of like, damn, like if I would have found a little bit of confidence as a kid, I'd have
I
been
used to say that
doing
shit too, and then I realized, fuck that, because that'll be the same shit that make me deny my unique story journey.
egg.
That'll be why somebody connect with me, because I didn't go through this, but I went through this shit, and this shit
Exactly.
crazy how I got here. Because
Exactly.
somebody could be watching you in your hood right now. They watching your whole journey. Some young kid out there, and just you being yourself, show them like, damn. Well, I could have these living conditions. It might be roaches in the kitchen counter.
Right.
Fuck, like, but I can make it because I seen Jabari walking down the street,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that if they can do it, I can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like some
Yep,
crazy.
and that's very true because like I always knew like I didn't have that as a kid, but I always kind of knew in the hood you always got that person that's like they're like I'm gonna be hood rich one day, I'm a star,
Right,
nigga, I'm about to be this, and a lot of
but you,
times they
woo,
are.
right, and that's all you gotta do sometimes is claim it. Like you just gotta
Yeah,
get into your own lane, and I think that's beautiful how you talking about. That's what you did. Like you just got into your own lane, and like even now it's a certain. You might watch this video in the next 10 years and be seeing shit that you didn't even know you was capable of, that you didn't do, and you just,
yes,
wow, I was speaking it. We was setting the stage up to
setting
get
the
right.
stage up. Yes, and I think one of my biggest things now too, which I'm going back. Sorry, let's go back to the
No,
previous
it's fine.
question. Just to add on to it is like that, like being comfortable, getting comfortable with uncomfortability. Like
Right.
when you're doing new things, it's not gonna feel comfortable all the time, and a lot of times it's gonna be like that don't feel right. Like I'm just not gonna do it. You
and
know?
and I think what you was talking about too, about like certain women and knowing who to be attracted to, like who's actually gonna kind of like pour water into your experience, pour
That
good
part.
into you. I
Thank
struggle
you.
with that because I used to want to help so much. I couldn't see like who, kind of was insecure or kind of like not really sure of themselves, and I
Mm-hmm.
can apply something. So I used to struggle with that, and I used to have to realize like, okay, first I gotta listen to myself, take everything like you said with a grain of salt, but
Mm-hmm.
eventually doing it more with myself, I was able to naturally, like you, like gravitate to people who really doing it
Who
genuine,
really doing it
and
genuine? Yeah,
they
yeah.
want to see others grow, but they still got their own shit that they could be like, look, I can help. Look, I can give you a reading. I could do music, but everything else, I'm still struggling. I still gotta pay my phone bill every month. I still shit.
Yeah.
I got my own problems I'm trying to figure out. Just
Yep.
like yeah, yeah,
Keeping that shit 100 basically, and like,
yeah.
people being real. Oh, thank you, Iman, about the video. Thank you,
Yo, for
appreciate
real, I
that.
was about to say that too. Yeah.
Yeah, we got way more. We got way more. That's another thing this year. Like, man, I'm trying to like, you can say like the creative part is one side of it, the music, and then there's a whole nother side of like the business, the promotion, the being seen. And I remember when Dola said like, you can't just be no bedroom rapper. You gotta
Yeah.
be seen. I was like, oh
No,
shit.
he reminded me to get my ass up. I was
Yeah, like
like, okay,
I'm a bedroom rapper.
let me
Like
get
I
back
am.
out there.
So that's what we doing. 2023 or
That's
2023, we
all
taking over.
23. We making moves, yeah. And I think that's the powerful part. Is like sometimes you just got to focus on your little flower, your growth process before we get into the next question, and then you will naturally gravitate and find. Like I'm even thinking about how I don't know if I think we both found each other in the group chat, but like both our names is Iman or some shit in there or whatever, or maybe he was on my page or however. Like we all find each other. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
it's crazy how it happens. You don't. You just being you, and you just stumble into somebody else.
Yeah,
Or
and I find that kind
like,
of
oh,
I find it kind of really unique and unique with the soul group because like I don't think I found people as much in my actual surroundings that like I resonated with so
like you
much.
you know
Yeah,
yeah.
like I understand that soul group term. Like you got a spiritual family out here, and you had experiences with these people, and it's like I could connect with a complete stranger and be like, yeah, I fuck with you, like you
I
cool.
fuck with you. Like I see you on a similar journey. It might go
Mm-hmm.
a different place, but I wanna. They say like you get fast by yourself, but you can go further with people and like
Yeah,
and real people who got some similar going on, or y'all really got the same dream, or the dream is connected, like God's involved with your friendships.
exactly.
I realize y'all will just split the fare, aka y'all will all equally put in y'all individual work to get there, and it
Yep.
will be no jealousy, it will be no kind of weird. I got insecure. Even if I'm insecure somewhere, you might see it, but you're gonna do weird shit to like, look, come on, Jay, get your ass up. You that bitch.
Yeah, like come on, give me some positive words of affirmation. But shit, some people they see your insecurities and they kind of like they
They
gonna use
wanna
that.
ah,
They want to
but
tear
not
the lands down and expose
terrible
you
shit.
type. Yeah, and people be miserable. And I don't think I realized that too. Was
Right.
like when I started to get on my journey and I started to like have found the confidence and be like, no, like I don't got fuck that about myself. I realized how like a lot of my old friends didn't like me no more.
They didn't like you because you was always that person, and they always knew you was gonna blossom into it. But now you have to realize, damn, this person was being a pesticide. They wasn't actually helping me grow. They wasn't actually like pouring the good water juice on me.
Like,
Now you see it.
yeah, and you like, well, what about me? Well, shit, you on your journey, but you ain't paying me enough attention. And it's
But it's
like
like that's the hate is coming from them not doing that work with themselves. The
within
amount of work,
themselves.
because anybody can be successful at anything. You could be great at anything, but I think people forget that what makes artists we see besides other string pulling, what makes
Exactly.
a artist popping is they focus on their self. Entrepreneur, business owner, they going in the mirror. They're putting up.
Huh?
They will actually
Yeah.
see my wall. They'll actually
Oh
put that
yeah.
shit up on the wall. You know what I'm saying? They'll get like
Mm.
serious about their shit. Now all of
Mm-hmm.
that's not about music, but I got tarot, I got the CTM shit up there. But that took a while to get to. Like that's
Right.
this year, like, but it was like crazy at first. They get crazy about it. Like I got other shit, like, and you think you crazy when you coming up in environments that do not even serve your purpose because it's the focus is on other things and what you think your parents told you should do, da 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 da.
Exactly.
But you gotta
And
do like
and
that sometimes.
and
You
it's
gotta go
and
crazy
it's
for it.
you know we being on our journey to shape. I feel like we take things a little bit deeper than the average
We do.
person. So
Yeah.
like a lot of times it gets so deep into like you came here with a lot of these energies and you came here into that family that didn't support you. You came
Right.
here into that generational curse. This is a bloodline thing. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You got to figure out that like why that even is something that you're
Why
comfortable with that you
comfortable with,
manifested. Like
and then you can get to like, and then that be the dope part when you do have that soul family that you can connect to, because you can kind of get out of all that and just be like and just see and be genuinely in the music, in the art, and then just be like, oh,
mm-hmm.
I see why even that's my mission. Like I need to do me, and through
Yep.
doing me, gonna help somebody else realize they
Exactly.
are and start going off. But that's where we got like,
You got to start with yourself. Like I believe that God helps those who help themselves. Like,
and we want to God's children, so we just gotta do our
yep,
part. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
So the next question says, and doing your part is really just doing what you came here to do, what you feel called to do, what makes you happy. So the next
right.
question says, what do you think? Uh, my own handwriting looking crazy. What do you think you want
Psycho.
to do? Oh, what did you think you wanted to do growing up versus who you actually came to be now, like today?
Yeah, that's my bad. I'm gonna grab my cell phone charger real quick. Don't my
You
phone
good?
die.
You good?
That's a good question too because, like you said, with the topic, when you was like, when you were like, oh, we've been kind of doing what you've been trying to do. So when I was a kid, I think I really was into like I was in Scorpio. I was into a cult. I was into astrology at a very young age.
Wow. I
Yeah,
was
my
into
mom.
spirituality and like crystals and shit. Didn't know it. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even know it. And like my mom was real into astrology. She had all the books and all that. So I knew like my sun and moon in like elementary school, middle school. Like I knew big three for the longest.
Bro.
But yeah, never what it really, the deep astrology, not like just the frou in the books, like the real, like what you're supposed to be using it for. So I was into a cult. I was into like the Illuminati in high school. I was into all of those things. Like
You were
heavy
learning about all the occult mysticism, like everything. Yeah.
everything, but realizing like learning about it in the wrong way. You know, you just on YouTube as a kid, like 666 is the devil, and you know, no,
I
girl,
used
you
to
got
do
the
that shit.
wrong, yeah, wrong perspective. But
I
now,
was super Christian, fake baby Christian. When I was trying to get spiritual, I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't want to talk to nobody for 40 days. I'm finna go be like, I used to just think I don't know. I was like trying to find God basically. Like I
Mhm.
knew where it was at, but I ain't know like that space, like I could do anything, but like I just didn't. It took a
and
while to get
it,
out of the shit
and I
that
feel like
everybody thinks.
it's meant to kind of be confusing. Like it's not easy to find it because there's so much. You know, this world is set up already for you to kind of already be confused.
It
You have,
felt like, yeah.
yeah, and fail and go to 60 years of school just so you can obtain any type of knowledge.
I was just saying,
But
the education system is about to. I think it's really about to transform.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That are the newer generations and our generation. Because I was like, damn, I'm a millennium. I'm getting a little old. Like
The new generation, we've been checking motherfuckers.
yeah, like
But I love it.
yeah, I'm liking it too. And I think like the next couple generations, they're a little bit more. I feel like they're more. We were kind of like taught to kind of feel like disregard our emotions in a sense. I feel like this generation, just like the Gen Z. Wait, how old are you?
Hella tapped in and just can be like, I'm done with this feeling, whatever.
Yeah, they're a little bit
Like,
more. They're a little bit more emotional. They're a little bit more emotional. I feel like
they be like real. They be like low key crazy though. Like I don't know. Like I love it. Like
You know why? It's because all the drugs. I really think it's
I
because
think it's the social media shit too. Like they just got like
yeah,
a no filter. Then like we were
yeah.
trying. Oh, you gotta have a filter. Oh, somebody's gonna see what you post online. And now
Mm-hmm.
it's like,
Now they don't care. They like I'm gonna smoke crack online if I want to. Like,
yeah,
I'm
they
like
like be looking. Sometimes some of the young kids make me feel some way like I don't even be knowing how to come to them to like help them because some of this shit's so rigged and fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But then I be thinking too in a weird way they be showing me other shit that's like maybe I like what like back to the question like who was I versus who was I thought I wanted to be growing up versus
right.
now they show me like I had to kind of go through those travels.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
you could
a
see
badass or whatever.
mhm. And you could kind of it's kind of cool because you can see other people like you can see their space quick. Like, oh, I see they going through their journey and that's okay. So
Mhm.
um yeah, so I'm gonna just answer the question because I kind of got a
No,
little
you good. We flowing. We good.
yeah, so I used to want to be like a child psychologist.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I
Well,
want.
this made me think about your show that you've been doing.
Yeah, I gotta stay on there. I gotta get through my
Good.
experience. I really wanted to like. I was interested in psychology, like knowing like why people do what they do, and like
Mhm.
but helping specifically children, like because I feel like that's it's innocent. It's innocent. A lot of grown ups. This
The
when
young
I'm
the young minds. Oh my god. Yeah.
yeah. So there was that, and I was really connected to animals. So I was like, well, I really want to be a veterinarian. I had those two.
Ah.
I always loved children and animals. I wanted to like help. Like I wanted to help however I could. And then eventually as I started getting into like I said, always having my headphones, and I was like, then the music thing came. I was like, well, I for some reason I couldn't see myself being the star. I was like, maybe I'll be a record label. I own my own record label and I'll just sign people onto my record label. And
Wow.
not never because the confidence, you speak your mind, your subconscious will start to build based upon how
Well,
you speak to yourself.
I think as a child, that's one thing I could give to like my Leo energy. Like I
Mm-hmm.
and Dolo told me once, and it confirmed for me because like he was like, you don't really you're like a Leo who doesn't like attention, but when you like when you're meant to take the stage or like do something with the stage, like you could take the attention. You know?
Right.
And because it's nerve wracking for me to get up here because I don't really be knowing like I got Leo in the sixth house, so I'm already dissecting the fuck out of myself. Like I don't need
Mhm.
50 people watching me being like,
Right.
I know what the like, bitch. I didn't thought about everything you thought about that you see in
You
me.
already
You know,
you detail. You had all the details and shit. You like
and
yeah.
then I'm trying to set the stage and just help set it. So it's like I be like slapping myself, like it's not about you right now. Like, you know? So,
Like nah, nigga, this your show. Like
yeah,
but that balance is hard.
that,
That
that
balance is hard. I
yeah.
feel like
When I was growing up, I was like, I'm gonna be a fashion designer. it's crazy because I've been playing with my little
Mm-hmm.
thing this whole time. It's still in me. Like, I'm gonna be a fashion designer. I'm gonna be a model. I used to make dresses out of sheets and shit.
Oh yeah, that's lit.
Like, it's weird. Shout out to Iman. It's weird because
We can, yeah. You
we
already know we on that record.
already on it. Shout out to us. I think Star Records or them over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We on it though, and Dave Beyond, all of them.
Dave Beyond, shout out to Dave, shout out to Cito, you know, shout out to everybody on the journey, man. Like,
everybody on the shit is crazy, yo. I'll be like, wow, like I just stay inspired, like, or I just feel like we keep each other like on track, like
inspired. I always, when I go on my story and I see, like, you know, you promoting your business, or, you know, somebody put on a new video, somebody put on a new song, I'm like, yeah, like this is esoterically, like, this the team, like, and it's like, always inspires me, like, what did I do today? As a matter of fact, they're gonna keep me on the mission, like,
that'd be the same shit for me. Or sometimes y'all show me, like, I love it because it balances me out, because otherwise that's what I try to do. A lot of people in my family or just in my environment, I'll be trying to help them, and they don't really be getting there, because it's like I had to realize everybody don't got the same job. A lot of people could be like, this is what I want to do, or they say, even I had to realize a lot of the hateration energy why I wasn't getting a lot of support was because I had this, like, idea as a young child about myself. Like, I know I'm a star, even if I think at first I used to think like I'm gonna just be the big star on stage. Now I've been kind of more like getting, as I get older, I'm like, I might just be a songwriter. Like, let me just write your song. Let me just sit in the back low key. I'll just shoot a video, or you need a reading. Like, I kind of like, oh, let me interview someone else. Like, I want to share my shine for others. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where growing up, I was like, no, I'm the star type shit.
Right.
Shit.
And I like that, because that's, you know, sometimes, like, I like with the Leo energy, like, sometimes though, like, I get that sun, that ego energy, because it's like, yo, you don't talk to yourself like that. Like, I'm the shit. I'm the one. I'm a star.
People don't talk to you crazy, like, all day, so it's like you have to give yourself that, like, pat, like, you do anything little for yourself, you show up for yourself every day, like the sun. You gotta give yourself that, because you could just be out here like other people listen to everybody else and don't give a fuck about none of your shit, like what you could really grow from just shining all that attention onto you. Like, that's what helped you get out of the hating, weird, jelly energies.
Yeah, exactly.
For people who struggling watching us, like, you know, trying to learn.
Yeah.
So damn, we just went, okay. I love y'all. We're going deep, but the next question is like, what's a deeper? It's already a deeper, like, this, like the hit point. Okay, we hit the treasure on this next question. So I love y'all and I'm rooting for you to succeed. You are already stars to me. Same to you, Iman, for real. And that's the thing. Like, until we have those connections and we see them, like, okay, maybe the people who support me ain't my people. Like, they say all the time, like, the most supportive motherfuckers may not even be your own people around you.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta just cherish it, because that might be all you need. Sometimes, like, talking to yourself and being like, I'm gonna put this on, I don't give a fuck who don't fuck with it in my immediate environment. You inspire somebody else, and then those people are still forced to kind of see that, and then that's what help put you in the fight. Okay, well, motherfucker, this is my thing. So if am I gonna get old and become like you, or am I gonna get old or make this damn dream happen? You know, exactly. So go be this star. So, so respect your stardomhood. So, yeah. So, next question. It says, what's a deeper, scarier moment or memory that you haven't shared with anyone, or you kept to yourself, that actually helped you create? This is actually the last question. That actually helped you create one of your last songs or projects. Like, what's a deep, scary moment that you didn't share with us that actually, like, that's the reason why that song was so fire, maybe, or that album, or whatever you did, even if it's not that. You get what I'm trying to say.
I'm like that because I'm like, I don't want to be too my Scorpio, my son in the third house. I don't want to be too gossipy. You
could filter. You put some names on the.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? because I know I'm the man. Shout out to Iman, right? Sometimes I feel like that little kid when he was like, I'm gonna be da 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 da, and now I'm like, all right, inner child. And I got a couple of them, and I'm like,
I got a couple of them.
I'm like, just sit down, you know.
Yeah, and that's where like with the inner child stuff, I'd be like, maybe I do need like you know when I about your class and stuff, because like a lot of things from my childhood, I think some people when they like traumatic moments or things that they've been through, my brain like will forget them.
That's like
Ended
a
up
whole.
put in place only good things that I was like, I can't even barely remember the trauma because like, but then it'll come up in other ways. Like
I go through all that in the inner child class, literally like dream. That's what I do in my readings. I help people like do dream work and like basically unlock shit that it may be painful because it's still in your emotional body. Like my ass was getting my ass beat for shit I didn't even do growing up. Like just taking bullets for other family members and shit and stuff. And for me, some of that actually became like a part of my confidence now, even with like my how I treat like that Virgo Leo North Node. Like a part of my creativity comes from me taking care of my health, my body, like going out walking. Y'all be seeing me penny boarding and shit. But I have this pain where I was like, I couldn't even feel like I could dance or move around and shit because I was always, you doing too much, da, 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 da. And I'll be like, motherfucker, I'm a Leo, I'm a fire sign, bitch, let me
that's what fire signs go through in their childhood, like people trying to dim that fire,
like, pour that whole shit like
fire out.
Just completely,
and I feel like I had like as a water sign, like my mom being a fire sign, it's kind of like, why you ain't come outside? You ain't dancing.
Like, I need time. You a Scorpio, like you need to conceal and digest.
Yeah, like some shit with me. Like I got some time, you know.
The question, but anything we basically talking about.
Oh, yeah. I remember it. I almost forgot for a little.
But it all comes back. Mm-hmm.
Something that I haven't really shared, but
same with I wish I could get some shit. Yeah.
Because I like 2 years ago when I first got on my journey, I did this ritual where like I burned my old self. I didn't want nothing to do with my old self. Like,
I be doing that in the class too. We do the little fucking obituary to your old self. Like, let that shit go.
And I let that shit. And sometimes I have a hard time remembering.
You don't need to. It's gone. Bye.
Exactly. Like this is like I'd be like thinking like, did I have trauma? But then sometimes in relationships it comes up because it's like
it pops out. Yeah,
it pops out because you may have not. You weren't aware, you didn't heal from it, or so many different things, honestly.
And that's where that's what is needed. That's why I do my class and the work, because sometimes we can't even get to our purpose. We can't even be in a healthy relationship or friendships or whatever, even with until we have that healthy relationship with ourselves. Fuck everything. Fuck music. This is why I didn't make music and like push myself as hard. And I'll be like, I had the same question, like, oh, if I would have just went off when I was in this school or doing these things and just work with everybody around me, I would have been here already. But then I'd be like, bro, I would have been no offense, I would have been like looking like one of these people out here in a toxic relationship or a toxic ass record deal, getting my ass fucked up, getting talked about crazy every day. And I'm happy that wasn't for me. I'm happy that I took time to process my shit before I went out there into the world and was like, this is who I am, this is who I want to be seen or known for. And I think we should respect that, because that's a part of that stardom story and shit.
Exactly. And it's like, that triumph that you go through everything, that phoenix rises from the ashes. Like I've transcended through these experiences. Now I can help somebody. I can tell them, I've been through that. I understand. You know what I mean? You can, help people.
Jabari, tell this my like podcasting talk show. Tell them before you get into the last question about sharing that dark memory or thing. Tell them your show and like what it's about, or like other things you got going on.
Okay, yeah. So if y'all don't know, I am Jabari Love. You can see it on my name. I'm an artist. I rap. I do a little R&B. I'm about to get into a little singing. That's something I be a little shy about. So my confidence ain't there yet. So I be trying to like dabble in it, but something I want to do. I got this series I just started on my YouTube channel. You can find me on YouTube at Jabari Love. Just make sure you're on the right page because I got a topic page that like, you know, the streaming sites will make for you, and that won't be really me. It'll just be them putting my music up there on a different page. But it's called the expansion series, and it's just basically like me extracting knowledge from all my experiences to kind of like put into perspective for people that may be going through the same thing, or you know, words of affirmation or advice, or just gems I feel like I picked up from through my experiences to help, you know, other people.
So
I'm about to be a little bit more consistent on that.
Wait, you heard me? Did it say?
Yeah, what you said?
Oh, I said I love the title of the like just the way you said expansion. Yeah, that shit is like that shit is going to expand in the best way.
And I be having like I write down these topics. You know, like, oh, it comes to my head, like you said, intuitively. Like you could be talking to yourself about something, and you be like, "This is a good topic. Like I need to talk about it." I'll write it down.
No, that's real shit. That's it right there. Yep.
I'll write it down, and then some days though, the next day I come and I'd be like, I just won't make the video. Like I don't know, it's weird, and then I guess it's
sometimes
like
I try to stay ready and record it in real time, and then
that's very good advice. Like nigga, when you got that little insight, you wrote it down, just record the video. You know, but my Leo rising kind of be like, I don't look like, you know, my Leo rising be like, I ain't showered, my hair ain't fixed.
You know what? I should give that to my artistry, to like how I get myself together. A part of my routine is to like, at some point, I'll be like, all right, if this is one of my days to do content or whatever, or just create a week, I kind of make an intention. That's some Leo shit. Leo tip 101. Your life is a movie. So you see Dolo getting fly every day. Like I try to get into the character completely. I don't care if I gotta rip some clothes up to make a style, and I'm built like I got the same couple pair of pants, shirts, but y'all be thinking I probably am flyed out. I got money and shit. I'm struggling. I'm 24. This is the struggle life. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I'm only 27, but
I'm still going through hella other awakenings, and I ain't up there yet. But I will be very soon. I will be. Like, I definitely know I'm a little bit ahead of my age or ahead of my time.
Yeah, facts. I think I just kind of started getting on my journey at like 24, 25.
Yeah, I just started, like, I've been on it, but I didn't know. I'm grateful for y'all. I'm grateful for everybody I didn't met so far, because if I had not been afraid to push through certain scary moments and experiences, I never would have fucking like got here to this point to be like, all right, I can actually go harder. And it's not about my age, because fuck the age. A lot of artists, we think they certain age, they older than that or younger than that, and it's just about when your spirit ready to take off, you're gonna fly. Like you not
and it's so like you said, when your spirit is ready, because it's like a lot of times like I wasn't ready for that. Like I think about something like, I wouldn't have known what to do with that like at that time, even though I thought I may have, but it's divine timing. And I feel like that's like a faith thing, like to have faith in yourself, to know like, well, God got me. I got me. I'm not for him. Don't be like man, Kanye, you know,
bro, there's no such thing. You're not old. Like in spirit age, I'm older than everybody around. That's why I be coming to y'all like that. Like we probably all like similar ages, and
we are
spirit. But I'm a life path 9, so I'm old as fuck.
Oh yeah, you older than me. That's why. I
hate that shit. I be like, I gotta feel more responsible than, you know, sometimes I'll be like, I'm still 24, I'm growing up, like help me. Like I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? But then sometimes God be like coming to me like, motherfucker, I told you, you know what to do. And I'll be like, why did I signed up for this. So
exactly. Like and it's hard when you like hear that inner voice, and you know it's like your spirit guides, like your higher voice, and it's like, girl, why are you doing this? Or move away from that.
You put yourself in that. You said you want to be this
do this was
person. So
Exactly.
you do the work. Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
hard. I realize though, it's hard to detach sometimes, especially I don't know, just maybe more for water signs, but for everybody, I feel like down here it's hard to practice that art of detachment,
Yeah.
especially when you start to connect
Whoa.
very deeply.
Yeah. People that's going to my wedding mindset. Fuck 31. That don't mean shit. You 4 years old. Okay, like
And 30s is
30
young.
is really the new young still. Like it's really starting to get 50s and shit.
Yeah, it's like you only 3 years older than me.
Like you really not even the 7. It's like so and like it's just
Yeah.
about a person's mentality, their spirit, like. And I think that goes into any type of business or entrepreneur thing. Like
Yep.
when you ready, you just gonna go off. If you want something, you just gonna do that shit. Like it
Exactly. And
don't
it's not
matter.
about it's not about the
Yeah.
age. It's not about none of that because we all know we done been here plenty of times. Some people are newer spirits here. Some people been here. Like me, I feel like I'm old and outdated, nigga. It's like
Sometimes I be looking at my brother and sister, be like, "Fuck, I need to hurry up before I get a little." But then they do shit that show me like, who the fuck time I'm on?
mm-hmm.
Like that's not my timing. That's not.
Yeah, and it's so many levels of stuff because like I feel like when you get very deeply into your spirituality, it gets different to what you value and what you look at as important and what you look at as I need this or I need that. And it's like
Or this
that
is
material shit, it look real nice, or you might see people younger than you that's like they may be more on their shit, but then you talk to those people in real life and their experiences, your life ain't half as
nothing
chaotic.
like that. So it's
Nothing like it.
yeah, I be realizing like you cannot, as a star, as when you in your cycle of like coming into who you are, like you cannot judge your process to someone else. Like
Yeah, compare that comparison,
you
and I feel
cannot
like
compare it. Yeah,
I feel like that's a Leo. Even my Leo rising, I feel like Leo energy can do that a lot of times. Like,
yeah.
I could be like, and not even on no hate shit or nothing. Just like you could
They
look
can
at
see
somebody,
them and then them other people. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and it starts to be a comparison thing, and it's not. It be so subconscious, and I had to realize that. Like, I'll look at somebody, because I may have a goal, and that person may have already obtained that goal, and I'd be like, damn, I can't wait until. But it's like, no, you on your own timing. Enjoy
It
your
like
life.
it help you realize like look at that person as a reflective mirror of okay, this is the amount of shadow work shit I have to do to even put myself in a similar. It's not even their position because they're not trying to like replace them and because they don't
Exactly.
like shit. That's what like the hater energies teach you and shit and weirdo troll. But when you in your own lane and you just being the stars you are, like that Leo energy actually just help you pay attention to like, damn, I need to focus a little bit more right here.
Right here, right. I need to rock my energy on me. Like it ain't
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
They
And it's
just
like,
show you like what you literally it'd be like. But when I was growing up, the Leo in me, I think I fell off like because that's what happened. Like I grew up, started dissecting myself. I started seeing what everybody else was doing. I told my family, certain. I started going through the trials and tribulations. Life. I was
yep,
like, man, I ain't shit. Like I ain't gonna make it. Da, 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 da. I started talking
right.
real crazy to myself, and then and then the transits that we just went through, Leo, we was getting attacked, so that didn't add no much better. But now it's like I'm coming out of that. I needed all that shit to be like to become this motherfucker, and I still got my days and moments. Even now, I'll be like, I don't know. I'm just gonna do it.
I,
Fuck it. Fuck how I
yeah,
look.
I've
Fuck
had
how I
like
feel.
even that's why I was talking about like just getting comfortable with uncomfortability because like I had like sometimes I'll this is like something I never told anybody, but sometimes I'll listen to artists who like are just popping off, females just randomly getting famous, like Glorilla or
Yeah, I love Glorilla.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I shout out to her. I love her, and sometimes it'll discourage me though. I'll be
Yeah.
like, I'll
But
listen. I'll be like, could that
you
be
know
me?
you know
No.
what's crazy? That can be.
Mhm.
And that is you already. And that's the trick about social media. Like without those views, without those likes, without the external validation, sometimes we forget that Glorilla is you two bologna sandwiches. I'm two bologna sandwiches from blowing up like Gorilla. The only thing that's
Exactly.
different is a whole bunch of people viewing us, or aka getting our audience up. What does that take? Proper marketing,
Mm-hmm.
your etiquette, how you show up in the business room,
Exactly.
business sharks and shit. Not your way of doing shit,
Yeah.
your deal. And guess what? MUAs, makeup style hair artist, what
Mm-hmm.
having your team, having those couple people who shoot a music video
Exactly.
and then you just being consistent, like we were saying, like you're gonna put this on schedule. Okay, boom.
Bing. And that's the
Two
consistency
bologna
thing.
sandwiches away from blowing up, and that we forget
Yep.
people they had to go through all of this the way we go through it to get there. But I think where people get fucked up at, and I used to do this, I used to try to get to other people's, like I used to think like, oh, I gotta get on their level. I didn't realize my level could be high as fuck, but
right, like, no, I just need to get on my exactly, and I think that too.
The views or whatever, I can't be thinking like I'm not on that level already just because I ain't got a million followers.
Yeah, and it's like because it's that we all artists, and also I had to like it's not Pound Town. I know
how I look at you, Jabari, you already on that level to me. I just look
appreciate that.
I look at it like if I was a fucking business, and that might be where CTM goes. Like maybe I'll create. I always kind of thought about that, like having my own record label, whatever. And y'all can be a part of it because it's really just me. I'm my own team. I'm doing everything right now.
Right.
So I used to think that too. Like I don't know if I could be this artist. But then that's what made me go to film school. I realized, how the fuck can I be an artist or a filmmaker or anything in life and want to be on stage? This is where I'm happy for my Leo and my Aquarius ascendant. My Aquarius ascendant was like, well, you want to be the star, but you don't know all the roles that come with it.
Exactly.
You want to be the it girl, but you don't even respect what the editor got to do just to put you out. And the people who help and the person who do your makeup and all the different roles. So it's like I went to film school to learn every other role that centers on the star, because then you realize it's not even about the star, and even the real big stars know that, and that's
it turns into this corporation type thing, and how well that you can be sold.
Yeah,
how well you got an image up.
Yeah, how well can you own your own brand?
Exactly.
So that's why I think.
And I'll be sitting around kind of like, as you sit around having them thoughts, and then sometimes I realize too, like I only been doing music. This is only my second year doing music. Like I know people that like have put in work in areas, and I'm not saying some people can get famous off a one hit wonder or off of one song.
I had to realize that shit don't matter. Like I could been doing music since I've been doing music since I was 8, but you might blow up next year. You might blow up this year. That shit don't matter though.
That shit don't matter. Yeah. Oh, that should be crazy. Like, that should just be crazy how like our minds just like be moving like that, and you see stuff and it's just like it's weird.
And I think that's why it's good to still look at those people you appreciate and like the Glorilla and stuff, but to always come back to you and be realistic about where you at. Because like I could blow up tomorrow, like overnight success shit, but that the little steps we take behind closed doors to be like, I'm not even going to judge. Instead of me wasting energy judging myself, looking at myself, hating on myself, thinking I'm not good enough.
Right. Let me go put this work in. Let me go put this song out.
And that little bit of effort might put out that video that you think ain't shit, and somebody like Glorilla or whatever you put it at the right time, your whole shit blow up.
Yeah, the right person see it, the right people see it. Yeah, and that's like having faith in yourself, like knowing that you deserve those things, and also knowing like your confidence level. Like, no, I'm the shit. Like, I'm a great artist. Like, my music is good.
And sometimes we doubt ourselves in our, just to wrap it up, we doubt ourselves in the place we be hard as fuck. So creating from there, that be what people, that be the shit that what you going through right now be a reason why you blow up. You just create.
You gotta stay down. Like, you gotta stay down, stay consistent. Like that Saturn, like stay on your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams. And even if it's not seeming how it looks right now, that's that starting point. Like you said, you got into music because you love to do it, because you like that way you can get your feelings out, or you like, it's your purpose, your passion, makes you feel good. All these things. That's it.
That's it. Right. You beat the whole battle. You killed that shit. So that was that's us going to the last question.
Sorry.
But no, don't say sorry. Shit, we out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not sorry. Hey, I was pushing my luck. All right. I love that song.
Yeah.
She said, I'm gonna roll up in an all black truck or some shit like that, for real.
Oh yeah. Man.
So
yeah, I remember the question.
The question is, the deeper, scarier things you went through that helped you actually, what's some deep shit or some scary shit you went through that actually helped you produce like a great song or some project we seen, but we don't even know the story behind it. And he was like, "Oh, I don't want to be. I don't. Yeah, yeah, yeah."
I'm only laughing because it's so funny because it's, you know, we also group, and I like that, you know, Dolo kind of started off this year by saying like, anybody that ever had issues with,
Oh
I
yeah,
I forgive you, and I also, if I've ever offended you, or you know, if I've ever, you know, did anything that you felt as though was wrong, I apologize as well. You know
no
what I
real
mean?
shit.
Yeah.
And I
So
say that right now. If I ever did that, like, I apologize if I ever did anything offended y'all, cause like we just all trying to figure shit out. So yeah.
exactly. And so my first ever EP that I ever did, the first one ever, which I vowed to myself that I'm not gonna do that again because I feel like it took away from me. You know what I mean? Like it gave somebody way too much energy.
Mm.
Even though I had them words, I had them lyrics, because and in my whole album I feel like it was
Oh,
very aggressive. But basically, just dealing with like that.
I feel the same way about this project I'm working on right now. Yeah, yeah. That shit. I gave a lot of too many people too much power over the
Mhm.
last years through my work. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that part. And it's not about you, it's not about them. I mean, it's good that you got it off, but like you said, we
No,
gotta
you
go.
can say it. It's not about you. You can say that shit.
Yeah, it's about my exactly. And it's
You can
no,
talk. Yeah.
so I put I had, interactions, negative interactions with, people, another female,
Mhm.
and they were out of pocket though. You know what I mean? They were completely out of pocket. They were borderline kind of like, they were all in this spiritual, subconscious community, but they was a little off, and they started making videos about me.
Oh, they just gave hella mental illness issues. That just gave that hateration cloud bubble we were
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
And so I was just like, well, I'm gonna put this shit in my music. And I took
Right.
voice notes that person had sent me, and I put it on the song.
That's hard as that's what they do though. That's what artists. It's really
Right.
like,
Thank you, Nazi. Yeah, Nazi, you know. Um,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know shit. I'm just now getting to know.
This is the
Every,
thing. It's so it's, how when some people, remember in Harry Potter when they used to be like Voldemort, but they would never say his name. They would never give his name power. It's like that. Like, I ain't gonna speak, but
but the villains be the villains secretly be the heroes in a lot of the movies. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, they do. But
but in
well,
this case, I get the allegory. I get the metaphor. Like
in this
people
case,
wasn't. Yeah.
you know what though? I still can say though, like they probably did help me, because that's why I could come to this realization now. Like, I probably would never do that again. Like, put somebody's their whole voice on my song, because I re-listened to it in today's time. I'm like, damn, I got like a whole minute and a half of somebody else's voice just on my song. Like, and if you don't know, you don't even know what this bitch talking about.
Or
Like,
what space they in. Like I get it. Like I definitely went through that. Like I think I went through certain negative experiences where I didn't realize as I'm creating this flower that I'm growing into who I am, my artistry. I was allowing certain weeds to be sown into my process, like people who didn't even deserve that was really leeching off the whole experience,
that part.
like trying to live through me. And I'll be honest, like whether it was like somebody I was fucking on or whatever was going on, because I was so hurt and just trying to be this artist, but there was other shadow work I needed to do, and that's what also helped me get deeper to my inner child work, because I was just a tarot reader at first, like out of college and shit when I found tarot. And I
Yeah.
don't know how it happened. Like I was trying to get with God. I told you the whole shit. And then I was like, I went to study abroad, and then I was like, nah, I want to like, I was praying real hard because I could feel the attack, but I didn't know what the fuck I was praying for. But something just kept telling me like, yo, you gotta set intention, you gotta meditate, you need to go to yoga, you need to go to therapy, because I was feeling all that
balance. Yeah.
And then I got into, and then I found astrology, I found tarot cards at Urban Outfitters, and then boom, like I found Uriel, Peace Deal. I was like, oh shit, this a whole world. I'm not alone. And
Exactly.
but I didn't realize once I got more into learning about everything, like who I was mixing my energies with wasn't even supportive to the goal, and that like who I was, my shadow shit, my negative. And I was like, damn, like why like that became my music, a part of my music and my story. But it made me look at some of my older songs, even like my EP. A lot of people like my EP, but I hate my EP because honestly, the space I made it from, I was so damaged and so hurt and doing so much like trifling shit to myself and to others because I was like operating out of lack, like operating out of poverty, operating out of my, like I was almost really letting my environment turn me out and turn me into something I'm not. And that shit like almost ruined everything if I hadn't listened to myself or gotten away from people. But I realized over time I didn't give those people, I had to take my power back and realize it wasn't about them. It was about the creation, the art.
Exactly. And that's just like something that you were going through. And that, like you said, it's like you may be thinking like, you know, even with the sometimes you, as a Scorpio, sometimes you have to go through the transformation. It ain't no other way around it. Like you said, you gotta just go straight through it.
Gotta go through.
But when you look back, you can always see the lesson. Like, yeah, I know what to like the expansion shit. Like, I know what to extract from this shit to not do again for my future. I know how to transmute in a different way, or I can, you know, add different things or subtract different things. But like you said, like I listened to it, especially that one particular song, and I'm like, why I do that? Like,
why I do that? Yeah,
same. Like that, you know. But like you said, I look at my my views on my streams, and that song. That EP,
yo, some of the craziest experiences be the what?
You got views, like, oh, you know, because, and I realized that too, like sometimes people feel that passion, like that being extreme amount of an energy can manifest, whether that's being extremely mad, extremely happy, you know, extremely passionate, like that buildup of energy, it goes.
And that's the success story right there, creating itself. So it's like, in one way, I used to beat myself up like, man, why I was moving like that? Like that was like not a reflection of who I'm gonna be. But I had to go through those energies and shed that bullshit and get those, you know, get out of these mindsets about who I thought I was supposed to be or what I thought I could create or do for myself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if I hadn't gone through that shit, how the fuck was I gonna become this artist who knows herself? I had to realize who the fuck I'm not and do shit that was comfortable, whether I had to do it or wanted to do it. I had to like we was talking about the kids and the youth and not knowing how to come to them because they in the hood and they think they gotta do weird shit for, you know, whatever it is that they into. I had to realize like, man, fuck them people who wherever I created, like the people I created my album with, I went through hella shit, but I mean, not even my album with, but like helped me produce it. I went through shit with.
Yeah, that first album you did, right? Like even the people that was involved in the process,
they shouldn't even have been involved. But it was like, why was I? It was I can't. One of my friends in the past, she was like on one of her songs, she said, you can't like be mad at, you can't be mad you got played in the game because you played it. You know what I'm saying? Like and that kind of go back to like I win, you know, you play silly games, you win silly prizes. And I think I wasn't thinking big. I was thinking small. So I got small, stupid little results. And sometimes we think whatever we going through, like that small bullshit is so big, and
it's not.
That shit ain't nothing compared to where you trying to go.
Girl, I'm glad you said that, because you know, even, you know, just everything in life, like you gotta know that, like when you going through shit, like this ain't your whole life. This ain't every day.
That one experience ain't shit compared to it. And think about these celebrities. We talking about Glorilla. We saw what just happened over there at her last concert. Somebody so all kind of workings. That's why I like us to do like have these moments where we can talk about like where we at, because it's like before I get to the stage and before you see my product, do you know who the fuck I am? You know what I'm saying? Like
that part.
This what helps us get out of the gossipy land, get out of like how they kind of do it in the industry. You know, they just kind of attack you and tell you who you is and control your ass.
Yeah, and let the media decipher you. And that's what another thing. Like I be already knowing. Like people be all in the comments. I'm like, you don't know that girl. You don't know that man.
They going through,
right at all. And that shit on the internet, a lot of times we like this some real shit you gonna hear on this channel. Like because on your channel, because this is some genuine transparent shit. It's not for the internet. It's not
like you never know what an artist, and that's why I had to realize like some artists. Were you trying to say something? Did I cut you off?
Oh no, you fine. You good. I
Oh,
wasn't.
some artists, my bad. Some artists like they don't go hard for their shit because they be thinking like
Mm-hmm.
that's what they sit back, they look at how these artists get with the part. I used to do this too, and then recently I was like, man, fuck y'all. You want to talk shit about me? Do it. I'm finna still do what God told me, and I just can't give a fuck about what these
And
little
the people that's
people
talking shit don't, like
be
you
wanting
said.
to. They be wanting to be in your position, but can't take half the shit. Like what you
Mm-hmm.
would do, they would actually keep being they. What we trying to do, they would actually keep being trifling, keep being fucked up, not ill, not working themselves, and just ride off.
Exactly.
Like just what they call it when you fuck people over to get to the top. They would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Us,
Yeah, all the
we
time.
would actually heal and work on ourselves and be like, damn, that's what makes you a genuine artist. And people hear that in your music. And over time, when they see your growth and they see your process, they be like,
Yeah.
yo, I really saw this. That's what makes a strong success story and a strong artist. And that's why I fuck with your music, because I feel that, like, look, I ain't perfect, but motherfucker,
Same.
I'm here though, and I'm doing the
Yeah.
work though.
Same thing here. Like even with your music, like it's very real. You know what I mean? Like very real and raw. Sometimes I struggle with like putting all my feelings out there, and like your experiences a lot on your music, and I fuck with that because I'm like you never know what being transparent to get you.
Yeah, yeah. But that's pretty much it. Um, I think that was a hard ass fucking little ending point right there. Sometimes we
Yeah.
feel vulnerable and shit, sharing our process, sharing our work, but
Mm-hmm.
that be the shit that people need to hear. One of them songs, I'll talk about it. No Better. I got more
Mm-hmm.
songs. At least the album probably ain't done because of so much dark shit I went through or seen
Ooh,
just
trying
to
to
get those
make
songs
it.
out. Just
Mm-hmm.
making it
Just to,
like people don't know. I'm like, man, should I even share this? Like, but then I'm realizing as we talking, like, nah, that's exactly what somebody need to hear so they can not. I'm gonna be honest, not kill themselves, because I could have almost been gone. You know what I'm saying?
girl,
If I didn't
yes.
have
Yeah.
music in this outlet and different shit, like, or was protecting my mind, my mental health from the world, from what people think about me or feel like. Some people just miserable and they hate themselves, so it don't matter what you do, they gonna always just hate.
Exactly.
They always be consumed by the environment. And anybody who going hard, if you one of those people who going hard, you gotta realize you're gonna always just have that extra little spotlight on you, and of people being like, oh, you think you could do it? And you gotta do that shit in their
Yeah,
face.
you gotta do it.
Otherwise,
And it gets to the point where sometimes I feel like even when you're doing it and then you're like aware, you're on your journey, people even get to the energy of like you think you better than somebody.
and,
You know
and
what
and the crazy part is sometimes you gotta let motherfuckers think that, so they can go get in the space of like, damn, what the fuck, like, why do I think about this person like that? Like, that's what I was saying before. I used to do
I
that,
mean?
and then I realized, like, damn, I really got low self-esteem. I really hate myself to even look at somebody like that, because everything I'm projecting and look at them like, I really feel that way about myself. And it used to be hard because I used to know how to keep it more like under wraps, like just to me,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Because it was
Yeah.
that Leo 6th house. So I'm constantly looking at myself. I was always good at not really like projecting my internal conflict with to others, like knowing it's separate. But oh damn, is Jabari there? They didn't cut it out or something. But damn. Oh, you go.
Okay.
Yeah. I was about to say I used to always like know how to kind of keep in my shit. Like that's like I got this weird. That's my Cancer, Venus, and Mars. Like you ain't gonna really see what I'm processing, but if I fuck with you, I'm gonna let you in, and you gonna be like, damn, she not even thinking about what I think she like. She on some other. I'm like,
Exactly.
I'm
Yes.
healing other shit. I'm not even like on.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to
Yeah.
pick nobody. I'm not trying to make nobody feel like they better. Like I'm better than them. Like I'm just really doing my work, yo. And anything I feel like I need to work on, I'm not scared to go look at that shit. And so
Yeah,
many
and
people are
dive deep.
scared.
Yeah, and look at
Mhm.
myself, and because a lot of people they don't do that. They don't even know what the fuck that is. Shadow work. What's that?
That
Like, you know
what?
what I mean?
And
So
me and my shadow, we like best friends. Like she'd help me sometimes. Sometimes she curse me out and be like, "Bitch, shut the fuck up." Like
yeah,
like right
we
now, like get off the show. You just said enough. All right. Fuck. all right, let me get out. No, but then it's another side that she like, okay, well actually let me not be a hater. You might be saying some shit that's spot on. Keep on talking if it's flowing, you know. So people just gotta like get there with themselves, and then that's where it gets to a point where you don't even need a fucking manager and all this shit, because you just see you get to a certain point in your artistry where you be like, oh shit, like I'm a star. I don't need nobody to tell me that. But
Exactly. I don't need
that's a
nobody
hard,
to really validate that.
but
Exactly.
it's harder said than done to get there. It's harder said than
It
done.
is. And I'm going to
Whew.
just say, like, you know, like I said before, like, love yourself, have confidence in yourself, do your self love affirmations, speak good to yourself. Don't tear yourself down. If you
Right.
know you got issues, don't be like, I'm fucking lazy. Be like, you know what? Some days I got hard days, but tomorrow I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna get, like, you know, that is big. Like, speak to yourself, be your best friend. Like,
Yeah, be your own best friend. And you know what's so crazy? Just to end it off, this is a beautiful show. It's an honor to have you up here. Thank you. I know you're
thank
gonna blow
you.
up even crazier. Like this
Yo,
is
you already know we taking over.
we
We
taking
taking over.
over this shit. Like it's a wrap. It's already done.
Mm-hmm.
But just to end off, like you said, oh, you know, yeah, don't talk crazy yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like try to be your own best friend, because I seen this post today and it was like, you're not lazy. You just you using all your energy to survive. I was like, so we just gonna end it there. Like y'all, a lot of us, we that's where we at. We barely trying to get out the hood.
We trying to get out of
Our
survival mode for real.
in our everyday life, like what, and our own personal battles. So
Mm-hmm.
just work with what you got, work with the energy you got, work with the people you got, and just fucking go be that star, and then share that shit with people. Music, art, whatever product you got, share
Yeah,
that.
your experiences, whatever you can add to the universe that can help somebody or work through God. Do shit because God told you to, because your higher self told you to, not
That's
no external shit.
that's
And
verification right there. Only thing you proving it to is God, and you gonna feel it in your whole body. That's what somebody once told me. You gonna feel it in your whole body, like I'm doing it, or I'm not really going as hard as I know I need to. So
yeah,
be graceful for yourself, and you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there.
yeah. So I appreciate you for having me. I appreciate you. Like I fuck with you. I fuck with
I
your
really
energy.
appreciate you.
We gotta definitely collab, chop it up, you
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
personal tip, you know, and yeah, thank you for having me. Sending you love always. Shout out to the Soul Group. Beautiful Porsche. Thank you for the compliment you gave us. Yeah, shout out to Iman, shout out to Nazi, whoever else is in here with you,
Yep.
comment, and thanks for having me.
Thank y'all. Okay. I hope you guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. Okay. Continue to uplift and inspire those around you, and share your beautiful stardom. You know what I'm saying? Love
Hey,
you. Bye.
bye. See you later.
Peace. Air.
Aaron, right?